Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user AcceptableWava923. Am I the a-hole for not paying my brother-in-law back for their wedding photo editing? I, 30 female, was in my sister's 26 female wedding a few weeks ago. It was beautiful and seemed to be just what they wanted. Last weekend, after they returned from their honeymoon, my sister, her husband, my husband, and my brother went to my parents' house for dinner so they could show us photos from their trip and some they had from their wedding. Just a few, as the photographer was still editing others. It seemed like they had a great time on their honeymoon on Turks and Caicos, and their wedding photos were beautiful, but I noticed that my body had been edited like a lot. Some background on me is that I am 4 feet 10 inches tall and have struggled with my weight for years. I was put on a steroid for over a year, which absolutely wrecked my body in numerous ways. I was barely 100 pounds for most of my life, but gained 60 pounds while on this medication. I was also diagnosed with PCOS, and at my highest, I was 190 pounds. I know it's bad, but I lost 25 pounds over the past year, and after having a watermelon-sized tumor removed from my ovaries last fall, I was able to lose 15 more pounds. I was doing my best to look good for their wedding. My sister is a natural blonde. She is tall, beautiful, and the absolute sweetest person on the planet. She is also a nurse and was in a sorority. Every single one of her bridesmaids were tall, thin, and blonde. Her now husband has never been my favorite person, but his family is amazing and they are close with my parents. Based on the photos shown at their wedding showers and other events, it appears that for a majority of his childhood, he was quite overweight, but had since become very into fitness and has completed triathlons and other similar competitions. So, after our family dinner, I was outside alone with my new brother-in-law, and he looks at me and says that their photos are taking so long to be returned because they had to have every single picture I'm in edited. He specifically said that they had to edit out my jowls. He said this in a semi-joking manner that I owe him $250 for having me photoshopped and delaying their wedding photos. I looked at him and said, I hope you're joking because that's rude, and also, what the hell? He pulled up one of the photos where all the bridesmaids are surrounding the bride and I'm in the front because I'm by far the shortest, and said that this photo should have been so beautiful, but I'm taking too much space in the front and it couldn't be fixed. I just looked at him, said nothing, and went inside and got my husband and we left. I don't know if I should pay him back or tell my sister or what. My husband said I should tell my parents and sister what he said, but I don't want to start any drama. Am I the a-hole if I don't pay him back? Of course you're not the a-hole OP for not paying him back, and now you're just sinning out of niceness. You should most definitely tell your sister and tell your parents what happened. I don't know if your sister knows about this, but what they did or what he did is incredibly rude. If they didn't want you in the wedding party, then why put you in the wedding party? And him pulling up a picture and saying this would have been so beautiful if you hadn't been in it or if you would look differently? Go F yourself, man. OP, you wouldn't be starting any drama. You would simply be putting people in the know about how crappy this person is. So again, no OP, you're not the a-hole. I think your husband is right and you should definitely tell your family what has happened. And what do you guys think about OP's situation? How would you go about it and what is your judgment? Let me know in the comments section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Kali the Blaze says, I think bringing in your parents might create more drama, but your sister should know what her husband said to you. Quote, I know you're not responsible for things your husband says, but I want you to know why I'd like to have some space from him and stay away from him at family get-togethers for a while. He said that your wedding photos are delayed coming back from the photographers because they had to edit out my jowls, and said that my presence ruined a shot of you and all the bridesmaids, and then he joked that I needed to pay him back for the Photoshop. I'm sad and hurt, and I don't want to have to pretend everything is okay with him for a while. End quote. Not the a-hole. And Opie responds, I appreciate your reply. I'm so apprehensive about saying something to my sister. My brother-in-law has been around for years and I've never had such a negative interaction. Honestly, I was proud of myself and this has just thrown me off. Artistic Thought 7309 says, he thinks you as someone who is taking too much space. From now on, liberate him from your space-taking presence and avoid being at the same space with him. Of course, once you informed your family about the reason. You not wanting to start a drama is honorable. On the other hand, it is the typical attitude of bullied persons who avoid further altercation with their bullies so that the environment is not disturbed by your suffering. Do not allow it. Your brother-in-law is an awful person, rude, insensitive, ignorant, arrogant. Let him be. But you do not need to be in his life and neither he in yours. Not the a-hole. And Opie responds, your comment hit me hard. I appreciate your response. I'm going to see what happens this weekend. I will likely tell my parents as I don't want to upset my sister. We have regular family gatherings and it'll be hard to avoid him. Red Something says, not the a-hole, but I want to tell you something I heard when I was in my early 20s that has stuck with me for decades. When someone has been rude and disrespectful to your face, don't stay meekly polite. You no longer owe them the same level of courtesy you did before they disrespected you. You must tell your sister what happened. I suspect she's aware to some extent. Surely she's seen the pictures. Your job is to simply say you are sorry they seem offended by your appearance and that you are not paying for her husband's choice to edit how you look. Grey rock him from here on out. Depending on how your sister reacts, brace yourself. And Opie responds, it truly didn't occur to me that my sister would have known, but how could she not? I'm reaching out today to have a chat. Additional information from Opie's comments. My sister is in the medical field and has been my confidant and consultant throughout all of my health issues. That's partly why I'm so scared to approach her. Also, to make it clear, I technically didn't have cancer, but a large non-cancerous cyst. I don't like to blame my health as the only cause of my weight gain. I just have no idea why my work-in-progress body would be such an issue at their wedding. I was thinking that if it was so important to her that she wouldn't have asked me to be at the wedding party at all. I hate the fact that he or they feel like I ruined their photos. I truly had no idea there were any negative feelings about my body, and dang it, I was proud of myself. So I'm definitely not paying for their choices. And now that I think about it, my parents had to have noticed, and my sister has to know what he's like. Realistically, I don't think I can cut ties with them completely. I know they'll have kids. I can't. And I want to be in their lives. I've always gotten a weird vibe from him, but we've absolutely never in 5 or so years had a negative interaction. They paid thousands for a videographer and photographer. I got the feeling this was just a fraction of the actual cost. He made it seem like I should pitch in. He did send me a Venmo request. He is clearly an a-hole and I need to stand up for myself and tell my immediate family. It's their choice to have me edited. Literally all of our family was there. Everyone knows what I look like. I'm just shocked at the whole thing. So the community agrees that OP is not the a-hole, and from the additional context we understand that OP will be confronting her family. So let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. I spoke with my sister this morning. I told her what brother-in-law said last week and texted her a screenshot of the Venmo request. She knew. It was her idea. She said she knew I was self-conscious and she wanted to show me how beautiful I could be. She also asked if I was going to reimburse them or if she should ask my dad. She knew. She said she was doing me a favor. I have never been so insecure about my place in my family, and it's been a wild day. Apparently, brother-in-law has been stressing about the cost, though he's not paying because his parents keep mentioning it. His grandfather is a local politician and his dad the CEO of an insurance company. They're doing very well financially. Anyway, I told my sister how upset I am and that I'm shocked that we're having this conversation. She said it's not a big deal and she knows I'll be happy about this when I've lost more weight. I then told her that I find it ridiculous that she had me in her wedding party if that's how she feels. She got mad, saying I'm being ridiculous to think I wouldn't be in her wedding. Basically, I told her that I'm incredibly upset and I don't know how to feel about our relationship. I then called my parents and told them we're not coming to dinner this weekend. My parents are upset and said they see why I'm upset, but they also kind of agree with my sister. My dad, who goes to the gym multiple times a day, said he's proud of me and he knows I can get healthy and that he's sure this won't be a big deal in a year or so. He then told me he was going to pay brother-in-law's parents and not to worry about it. It's so weird because I've been in other family photos and none have been edited. It's this one, this major family event, that everyone seems to have drawn the line. Literally, no one has ever made comments to me about my weight, but looking back, I think I've always been compared to my sister. She was literally homecoming queen every year, and I remember my mom asking if that upset me. She was a freshman and I was a senior. I was just doing my thing in the chess club and science honors society, not giving a crap about how pretty and popular my sister was. I was happy for her, but looking back, I think that I've been crapped on my whole life while my sister's needs and interests were put above mine. I'm going to schedule a session with my therapist after this because I'm just at a loss. I wish I was more ruthless, but for now I'm just not responding. I haven't blocked anyone, but they can see that I've read their messages. Not a single apology, but my mom essentially said, "Sorry you feel that way about the whole thing." And she told me that my dad paid the family and that they'd be happy to send me some of the unedited ones when they get them. They should get the rest of the photos back at the end of the month. I will not be looking at any of them. I just feel so betrayed and like I've been living in the dark. I had no idea my family would act like this. At this point, I feel like I'm wallowing and complaining, but this has literally changed my life. I made this post thinking I was crazy for being asked to pay for their photo editing, but this has made things more clear. They know how sick I have been and how hard I've worked. This was unexpected, and now I feel like I'm dwelling and just feeling sorry for myself. That's not who I am, and I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing without them for now. Wow, OP, I'm really sorry. Your family absolutely sucks and not a single apology. And I understand that your world has changed right now, but I think you're doing the right thing on getting some help and just keep doing what you're doing in spite of them. Hopefully they see how they've hurt you and they truly do apologize and change their ways. So in the meantime, here's wishing you and your husband the best in the future. Thank you so much for sharing, OP, and take care. And now, let's move on to the next post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole, and it's by user GlitteryCupcakes02. Am I the a-hole for not making my brother's soon-to-be ex-wife give up her plane ticket to his current girlfriend? My 30 female brother, who is 36 years old, filed for divorce from his wife of 3 years just 2 months ago after he discovered that she has been cheating on him. Before her secret came to light, my family and I planned a week vacation to Orlando, Florida, in which we travel to late next month. 3 months ago, tickets were already paid for. My brother paid full price for his while pitching in for his ex-wife's ticket, who did put a little more than he did towards it. Now, after he filed for divorce, he started dating his current girlfriend. They've been together for a month and some weeks now. Here's the problem. Last Sunday, my parents hosted a Sunday dinner at their home and my brother's girlfriend was invited. We were talking about the trip and when my sister, who is 28, suggested my brother's ex to get a room of her own since the two are no longer together, I noticed the look his girlfriend had on her face. However, she said nothing and stayed quiet. After dinner, the girlfriend pulled me to the side and said that she had no idea my brother's ex was still going on the trip. My response was simple, yeah. She proceeds to tell me that she was not comfortable with the idea of the ex still being allowed to go on the trip. She then asked if it was okay that the ticket went to her instead since she's now with my brother. I politely told her that I didn't think it would be right for me to give her my former sister-in-law's ticket since she did put money towards the ticket. The girlfriend then asked me if I didn't think it would be disrespectful to her if I was still allowing my former sister-in-law to go on the trip. I told her I'm sorry she feels that way, but that I wasn't going to make my ex-sister-in-law give up her plane ticket. I also told her that she is more than welcome to purchase her own ticket and come with us if she wanted to. That wasn't good enough for her because she still doesn't want to see my brother's ex-wife's face on the trip. The main reason why my brother's girlfriend is not cool with my brother's ex still being around is because of their unfortunate encounter. According to my brother, a couple of weeks ago, his girlfriend was at my brother's house. At the time, my former sister-in-law showed up to collect some more of her things. My ex-sister-in-law ended up disrespecting my brother's girlfriend and started a heated altercation with her. I don't condone my ex-sister-in-law's behavior towards my brother's girlfriend, but I also don't see why she should be uninvited from a trip after she had already paid for her own ticket. Not to mention, as my sister said, former sister-in-law can just get a separate room. So, am I wrong? I could be the a-hole because former sister-in-law is no longer a part of the family and I could be putting her first even though I know my brother's girlfriend finds it disrespectful. But Lupi, first things first, your ex-sister-in-law sucks. Cheaters generally just suck. Now, regarding your issue, I think your brother's girlfriend is way out of line. Not because she doesn't want your ex-sister-in-law not to go on the trip, but because she's talking to you about it. Why is she doing that? She should be talking to her boyfriend. And the proper solution, or at least to me, the logical solution is, if she doesn't want the sister-in-law to go and she wants to go instead of getting a free ticket, he or she should pay for the part that the former sister-in-law paid for. That is, if the tickets are transferable. If not, she can just buy her own ticket or shut up about it. But the main thing is that it has nothing to do with you. So no, OP, you're not the a-hole. And what do you guys think about OP's situation? What is your judgment? Let me know in the comment section. And now let's move on to the community comments. Best Bo Weber says, not the a-hole. I don't understand why girlfriend is coming to you with this crap. This is not your circus. These are not your monkeys. Girlfriend needs to be redirected to your older brother. Even if you fully agreed with girlfriend, you can't just give away someone else's paid-for property. That would be theft. I get that it would be weird for sister-in-law to be there considering she is an ex, but that is a conversation and negotiation between boyfriend, girlfriend, and ex. No one else. Sanaya Low says, not the a-hole. Why is the girlfriend even coming to you? They are adults. You can tell her to just talk to your brother. And how does your brother have a new girlfriend so soon? Are you sure that it wasn't him cheating? And OK Conversation 9750 says, let me see if I have this right. Soon-to-be ex-sister-in-law cheated on your brother, which is why she's soon-to-be ex. Then your brother gets a new girlfriend who has obviously met and hangs out with you and your family. New girlfriend is blindsided by the fact that soon-to-be ex-sister-in-law is still going and thinks she should go instead. I get it that soon-to-be ex-sister-in-law paid for the ticket, so it's hers. But I'm wondering why in the world she'd even want to still go considering the way they broke up. Her cheating. Why would anyone in your family still want her to go? Does anyone care that she cheated on your brother and destroyed their marriage? For now, I'm going with everybody sucks here, except maybe the new girlfriend who should be really concerned that the ex is still so very entrenched in your lives. Okay, so we've got like a mixed judgment between not the a-hole and everybody sucks here. So now let's move on to the update to see how the story ends. First off, the trip idea was my sister's, brother's, and mine. And I was put in charge of getting everyone's ticket after money was turned in to me. Apparently, I'm the responsible sibling. But I assume girlfriend came to me about it because my sister did ask me at the dinner table if I had already gotten everyone's ticket, which was before she suggested former sister-in-law to get her own room to my brother. So, I spoke to my brother early this afternoon to see how he felt about his ex still being able to attend the trip. He basically said he didn't care as long as she stayed away from us and would not join us in anything we do on the trip, which I told them that was already the plan, excluding her from everything we will do on the trip, and it's been established that once the plane lands, she's on her own. Unfortunately, his girlfriend still isn't okay with his ex coming on the trip and will not be joining us herself. Apparently, they finally got into an argument over his ex attending, and he told her that his ex is not obligated to give up a ticket she paid for, and that just because she was flying out with us didn't mean she will be around us. This is what he told me. Like I said, what my brother and his ex decides to do is between them both, and I've decided not to have a say or insert myself in anything that doesn't really have anything to do with me. Alright, well, it's the first time that I can't say if this is a positive, good, or bad update, because I think the ex-wife should have just said, I'm not going. Opie's brother should have bought her ticket from her or reimbursed her for the money, and then he could have given the ticket to his girlfriend. But instead, the sister-in-law is going, although they won't have anything to do with her. The brother and the girlfriend are in a fight, and Opie has just removed herself from the situation entirely, which I think she should have done from the beginning. So on that note, Opie, all that there's left is hopefully you guys have a great holiday without the sister-in-law intruding or anything. Take care, OP, and thank you for sharing. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.